this chit chat. Grab your popcorn, sit tight, we're ready to roll. In the heart of Sac Town, we're feeding your soul. In the King's Court, the vibe's electric. If you don't like that, we're here to correct it. With the best in the game, we're raising the bar. From the hardwood to the airways, we're the King's shining star. With the NFL, Adams in the ring. Rhino's got the wisdom, hear the praises we sing. Court in session, it's a royal affair. With the fans all around, feel the passion in the air. In the King's Court, the vibe's electric. If you don't like that, we're here to correct it. With the best in the game, we're raising the bar. From the hardwood to the airways, we're the King's shining star.
I'm on gas, no
we
breaks.
Told you we are all gas, no breaks here on the channel. Advancing, growing, a big testament to all of you, the many thousands that tuned in last night for Grant's announcement. It has been absolutely overwhelming. I've been talking with Grant. I know personally how many of you have reached out to me, how many professionals in the market have reached out. Thank you. Thank you. We are so looking forward to the opportunity. So happy you're here on the King's Court. One of the coolest things for me was seeing Marcos Breton's article that, and so I'm not going to get into the timing, but you know, we had some plans to make sure that this thing was as big as it could be. But to see the quote that he used from Grant when it was the top headline on SAC-B while we were still doing the show, quote, "It's going to be the Grant Napear show that people have listened to for decades," Napear said. Quote, "I'm coming back to win." How's that hit you? We are coming back to win. Do you know how to spell it, Adam? Do you know how to spell that, Adam? Anyways, certainly that brings up questions about the King's Court. What's going to happen around here? How's there going to be a King's Court and Grant Napear show? We'll get into it as the show goes along. And certainly we've got some sports and really just want to make this day a little bit about all of you. I know a ton of people called in last night to give their thoughts on everything. And yeah, very, very much overwhelming. First, I want to get to the Niners. Joint practice today. Grant Cohn, here was his thoughts on the joint practice with the Broncos.
Rough for the 49ers. Now, I was mostly focused on the offense, and when I did look across the field to the defense, Nick Bosa was and whooping Mike McGlinchey's rear end repeatedly. So that was good to see. Also, though, when I looked over the defense, Mykel Williams was down for a long time. Don't know if it was non-contact. Appeared to be a left knee injury. Could have been a left ankle injury. This guy's been hurt pretty much for the last year. That's not what you want to hear. But the offense really struggled early. It was bad early. 7-on-7s, Brock Purdy threw 2 picks, both times trying to get the ball down the field to Ricky Pearsall. He missed his first 6 throws to Ricky Pearsall overall. And it wasn't just the passing game that was struggling. It was the running game, Christian McCaffrey, everyone. And when these plays would go for no gain or lose yards, the Broncos defense would laugh. They would yell. They would laugh. They were woofing. And, you know, DJ Jones, Talanoa Hufanga, Dre Greenlaw, not practicing, but out there laughing at the 49ers offense. And I think what made it even worse was Trent Williams was out there in pads, but not practicing, and he was laughing too. And he was hugging Dre Greenlaw and Talanoa Hufanga. It's his friends, but like, hey, man, can you not laugh at your own team in front of the media? Just saying. But anyway, the Niners offense really bounced back, and Purdy hit Pearsall down the field in an 11-on-11 drill for a touchdown over Riley Moss. Pearsall didn't beat Patrick Surtain, but who does beat Patrick Surtain, really? So they redeemed themselves a little bit, but by lasting image from this practice is the Broncos laughing at the 49ers, Mykel Williams limping off the field, and Trent Williams laughing for no good reason. Other than that, it was a very productive practice for both teams.
Very interesting. I wanted to play that off the top to see if any of you have a problem with players joking around, players laughing. Brock Purdy trying to force the ball to Pearsall. I know they got one there in the end. We had kind of talked about that the last couple days, but joint practices is where the real work gets done for the starters for the most part. So it was the first day of joint practices for them. So we can talk NFL. Certainly, we're going to get to all of your comments and questions. But yes, the big news. Grant is back. Grant is headed to 890. Fox Sports, 890, 104.7, whichever way you want to hit it. We are taking the show over there, the Grant Napear Show. Now, a lot of questions about what it's going to mean for the channel, and I would encourage you to go back. You can listen to last night's broadcast. You can download the audio if you would like. Grant answers many of the questions that you have been asking right now in the chat, and I'll hit them too. But we wanted this news to be big. I hope some of you were like, well, it's got to be Grant announcing the Kings or bust. No, it doesn't. This is big deal. Big deal. So very happy. We'll talk about it as the show goes along. And yeah, we will get through it. Sorry, I am multitasking. You know, when like a plan falls through and like some plans are more important than others, like your son getting picked up from school. Yeah, I just had to negotiate that. I'm like, everybody chill out. Chill out. The ride's gonna be there. The ride's there. So, anyways, let's get to all you again. Just a rundown of today. Like I said, I'm sure a lot of this is going to be about what's going to be happening moving forward. And we're putting our heads together, as Grant said. You can expect the same exact hard-hitting Grant Napear show that you had before. I think this is getting a lot of love from this fan base. I think Grant would have got a lot of love from this fan base regardless. But I think specifically with the Kings right now, kind of in flux. You know, you're coming off of a really weird run where the team went from really good to really bad. And now it's like, we can't rebuild. Can we rebuild? What's it going to look like? And Grant was that voice, is that voice that is always tiptoed that line, working for the team and doing a show. And although I respect the heck out of some of the people that are on in the afternoon, they just haven't had the time in the market to build up that trust. And so to have Grant coming back at this time, I just think it's massive. It's absolutely massive. And we're going to be doing it right. We're going to be doing it big and ready for it. So what do you all think about it? What are you all thinking? Let me know in the chat. Couple other stories. We can talk NFL. The preseason begins tonight. Raider fan, you are in Seattle. So if you want to see about what that team's going to look like under Pete Carroll for the first time, although preseason, I like preseason. I've explained why I like preseason. Also, we can kind of talk about the NFL as a whole. What are you thinking? Certainly, there's a big problem in that big blue state with a star, and that is attached to Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones. And Micah, Jerry doubling down, saying how, well, we've got a handshake deal. That's how I like to do business. After he comes and says, and Micah, like, dude's trying to do backdoor deals in his office. Anyways, we can talk NFL. And the WNBA has a problem. They do. And you know what? It didn't start in the WNBA. I think you know what I'm talking about. There's been some things thrown onto courts as of late. Fans being hit with.
It's a rubber donga.
Fans being charged with crimes. Not good. Not good. So if we can hit that responsibly, we will do that as well. Again, as the show goes along, we will talk more about what is next for this show, because this has been kind of a cool alternative, right? We've built this community in the King's Court, and certainly the King's Court can't run at the same time as the Great Napear Show. But does that mean the King's Court needs to go away? Not necessarily. So I'm so appreciative of all of you that have been regulars. I hear all the time about how this is the best chat on local air, or at least covering the Kings in local sports. So thank you, Peter, for letting me know my map is wrong. Okay. All right, Peter. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, Peter. We'll get it fixed. I didn't vet it. My bad. That's what Peter's here for. That is what Peter is here for. All right, let's go from the top. And we also, because we didn't get to have a Wednesday show, we might be able to do an Immaculate Grid if you guys want to do that. And gals, we can get to one of those as well. Finchy, really appreciate a lifetime, no doubt. What we've been able to grow here. I'm very proud that I've been able to earn Grant's trust and be able to grow and, be able to bring some value to his brand. So I look forward to hopefully continuing to do that. Remember, I am not the king. I'm trying to be the kingmaker. That is my role. But appreciate all you. Tristan, thank you. Let's go, baby. Indeed. You know what I mean? The song needs to make it to the new show. You know, Adam, that's one thing. That's Sean's not making it to the new show. Can promise you that, because I'm the producer. Not happening. But I am interested to see if we're going to get the old ladies and gentlemen. And now, the Grant Napear Show. Now, Grant Napear in the Yankees announcer's voice. We'll see. We will see. Gonzo Grant back, baby. Yes, indeed. He is indeed. He's pumped. He has been getting a lot of love online. I'm sure we'll probably have some more media coming out. In fact, I'll put this up. Do us a favor. So certainly we want you to be listening on 104.7. We want you to be able to listen on 890. But if for whatever reason you don't get those, make sure you download the Fox Sports Sacramento app. You can download the app. It is in the Play Store and the App Store for Apple. So download those. Make sure also, if you wouldn't mind, going to give Sac Sports Sacramento a follow as well. Grant told a pretty cool story last night about one of his first jobs here in Sacramento, and telling the radio station, the owner, that I'm going to make you the biggest kid on the block. And the guy not believing him. And within 6 months, they were the biggest kid on the block. So certainly we've got work to do. We are so excited to be working for Fox. We want to elevate them. We want to make them the place for your drive time Sacramento sports talk. So Matt, what's up, dude? Oh boy, that announcement yesterday, Sacramento needed it. You know, I kind of felt that way too. Wasn't the timing just kind of right with this team? The timing's a little bit different, and I I don't mind sharing this. I shared this with Grant personally. The timing would be different if you're coming back in the middle of the Kings, on the way up. Let's say they win a playoff series the year after they made the playoffs for the first time in 16 years. Maybe you get a little bit more lost in the shuffle. There's more competition, more national spotlight on the Kings. I think this is a very, very good time for the Kings to be back, or for us to, specifically, not us, Grant, to be back in Sacktown. Thank you. Appreciate it, Amar. Thank you, Amar. Really appreciate it. Dude, I'm just going to say the station to turn up the wattage to South County so you can actually listen. Where are you in South County? Let me know. South County? Where are you at out there? I don't know what South County is. Like down in the 209? Yeah, we already went over that. Beavis 890. Okay. For sure. For sure. Horse and Adam can host? No. No. That's a hard no. When I still need to dump Adam occasionally and keep him from himself during wrestling segments, no. Now, I'll talk about what the plan is, because what's really cool about this is, with the exception of the King's Court, live at 3:00 every day of the week, every day of the work week, is our game day coverage, our post-game shows. They're still here. There's going to be more people coming. We are going to, and we've had up to 30,000 people before for Kings post-game coverage. Not only is it going to be a bigger deal, you're going to have more access. There's going to be post-game shows that I might be doing it from the G1C with Grant, sending in audio directly from the locker room. We might have a couple of surprise hosts that might be joining us for post-game. So we are going to pump this channel up just as big, and it's going to keep getting love. Now, the frequency of programming, because we're going to be on the radio, will go down a little bit because of me and this daily show, but you're going to get so much more quality. That's the big thing. If we're giving you less, the quality is going to be 10 times better than the quantity. And it has so much to do with all of you. It's incorporating you, making it easier to get you in on the show. So, again, you should be thanking yourself. Grant made this decision because of all of you. So, pretty cool stuff. Yeah, watch the waterhole. That's what you want to do. Why start with my arch nemesis? Patrick, what's up? Grant is doing Sac Radio again. Is he back in Sacramento? Did he move back? He addressed that last night. He will be back in the studio. First day of the show, 9/2. Or 9/2. We kick off the day after Labor Day. Grant will be in studio, but much like we've done with this show, we can do this from anywhere. So go back and check out the show last night. And Grant actually is going to be on tonight as well, 7:00. Join him. He'll be taking all of those same questions, 'cause I don't want to talk for Grant. But yeah, join him tonight, 7 p.m. What was everybody's genuine reaction? Like, was it shock? Was it, that's what I expected? I'm curious about that. Amar says the Niners will figure it out. Yeah, also John Lynch saying he doesn't think Ayuk will be cleared for week 1. That's interesting. Not a surprise. Don't rush him back. Would love if Grant would come back and be our play-by-play again, back where he belongs. That was brought up last night. He said his phone's always on. So there you go. Let the Broncos laugh. They're not going anywhere anyways. But what about the Niners that were laughing? So I don't have a big deal with it, or I don't take anything too big away from it. These guys all see each other as a giant fraternity. But I will say this, when it's the first time you get to hit another team, maybe, I'm not joking, while the joint practice and scrimmage is going on, Kittle freaking out over smelling salts, a bigger story. Bizarre. So bizarre. Again, the NFL so far behind the curve. Super behind the curve. You know why they're behind the curve? They did this exact same thing with opiates and marijuana. Marijuana, it's the devil, right? Nope. You smoke marijuana, that's a banned substance. You're going to get a suspension. You have all these reports. Not only that, but you have players pleading, showing you evidence of how there's different things that can be done with the compounds, the CBD, all that stuff. In the NFL, marijuana is a monster. How long has it taken the NFL to start to kind of, I don't want to say kick that door open, but at least open their mind? What's worse? I can definitively sit here, definitively, I don't need you or Peter telling me I said that word wrong, sit here and say giving out opiates like they are M&Ms for the 40 years before this, what does it show now? How many deaths do you have because of a marijuana overdose? And for many, they say it works better for their pain. How many NFLers have lost their careers, lost their lives after their careers because they're hooked on pills? Like, how you can go with the worst of two options? I just don't get that. And now smelling salts. We're going to get rid of smelling salts. What do you think guys were using before smelling salts? You want to take a guess? I don't think it's a big jump to say they might be using the booger sugar. Some guys back in the 70s, the 80s. Smelling salts. We're going to ban them. Stupid. How about you worry about the concussion problem? How about you worry about trying to get every player wearing a guardian cap in practice? Smelling salts? Just, it seems very, very stupid to me. Stupid. Shocker. Grant making something out of nothing. We're talking about practice. Really, Mark, you were not picked up by that, right? You weren't picked up by the announcement? All right, for sure. Peter says, I love when a plan comes together. Yes, indeed. Kings are always in flux. Nothing new for this franchise. Sadly, we lost accountability in the media. Let's be honest. Grant says the truth. I don't think, okay, here's why I don't think that's fair. Grant called games for 32 years, right? And his body of work is so much longer. It's so much bigger than anybody currently on the air in Sacramento when it comes to knowledge, time spent with the Kings. And Grant was able to dissect that line, finally dissect that line between making sure that he is being fair to the fans and not having purple glasses on. That's a fine line. And, I just don't think you've had anybody in that seat long enough to really judge. But I get it. I think there is a lot more. I used to ask the questions all the time. I've seen many of you ask the questions about how that worked. Like, how did the Kings not get mad at Grant, and how did the radio state, like it's just what Grant has been able to do, and I just think it's balanced back to the market. It rebalances things. So oh boy, yes indeed, it was a dandy.
It will be a dandy
of an announcement. Who's the first guest? You'll have to tune in, Dennis, to find out. You think I'm going to tell you that right now? Come on. Some of the hilarious guesses on what it was going to be had me dying. Grant's going to be calling Little League World Series baseball. Grant's having another child. Come on, you guys are great. So good. Somebody told me 5 years ago that Pete would be in Seattle as the Raiders coach. I'd laugh. I wouldn't have, because time was running out in Seattle. It had ran its course. It happens. Outside of some of the few and far in between greats, Bill Belichick and the Patriots ran its course. Paul, what's up, dude? How you doing? Chat peeps. Rhino, the comeback's going to be huge. I know for a fact people who don't watch the podcast are looking forward to you guys. Thank you. Appreciate that, Paul. Peter's still getting on me. Yes, Ron, we still got to talk about that. The WNBA. Now, there's precedent for this. Believe it or not, this did not start in the WNBA. This started with an NFL fan base. Does anybody know which fan base this started with?
It's a Robert Donga.
Numerous times. But it's different when there's women playing on the floor, for sure. We need to preserve the chat, please. Yeah, so those are all things that we are... I shouldn't say we. I mean, I'm going to be working in conjunction with Grant on what the options are. If I want to preserve parts of this where you still are to chat, because we're not doing a simulcast. Grant explained why we are not doing a simulcast, and I'm actually very much in favor of it. It's radio. It's old school. That's what Grant is. Grant has always been old school. So Ryan's a Niners hater. Expected being a Seahawks fan. Yeah, you know what? I'm not a hater of the Niners so much. You really think Grant Cohn's the TMZ version? Interesting, Aaron. I actually found him to be pretty credible. Being on with Damon, Bruce, and Larry Krueger so much. I find him to have a entertaining way of getting the information across quickly. But I'm not a hater of the Niners. I'm just not a fan of the Niner fan base. Can those be mutually exclusive? I think they might be able to. Gonna get back to your comments here in a second. But first, let's hit the phones up and go to my man Tay. What's going on, Tay?
Hey Ryan, how are you?
Doing great. How's everything in SoCal?
Good. It's a little bit humid this week, but overall, great day, sunny day as usual. Much congratulations, Ryan. I'm so happy for you. I'm sure you're gonna kill it with Grant.
Thank you, brother.
So does that mean you're going to be potentially closer to the team as in the Kings overall with much greater access with this role?
Yeah, that is. I mean, I have been able. It's been one of my probably one of my proudest achievements has been to create my own access because of some of the barriers that were put in front of me, and I think I've done a pretty good job. I think anybody that watches this channel knows that what we say is right more than it's wrong, and it's timely. But yes, I should be credentialed, meaning I'll be at practices, be at media day, training camp, locker room after the game if I'm not on camera with Grant for post game. So yeah, I will be closer to the team.
Yeah, awesome. I'm so happy for you. I know NBA is pretty slow right now, but with the Kings season coming up, do you think this season is going to be less dramatic in the sense that we probably don't have as high expectation as we did last season, and we probably think Chris is going to last the whole season, and we kind of know what this team is and what we can expect from them. So, in terms of that, the season might not be of a roller coaster like last season. So, does that mean that we probably won't see your new graphic of the roller coaster?
Say that again? Like the graph? Oh, you're not going to
Yes.
see my roller coaster picture?
Yeah. So, because it might not be as dramatic as last season, we probably have low expectations, and we probably know what this team is. Are you not going to create the roller coaster?
No, I probably will. I'll definitely do the roller coaster at some point. I kind of think what this team's gonna be is some nights they're gonna look really good. Some nights they're gonna look awful. And I think they'll probably go on runs. They'll peel off maybe 6 of 8 games, and then they'll lose 4 games in a row. That's kind of as we sit today, assuming that no other changes or trades happen before training camp.
I see. Well, congrats again, and can't wait till September. So,
Heck
yep, have
yes,
a good one,
man.
Ryan.
Thanks, Tay. Appreciate you. Good stuff from Tay. You know, the flip side of that, if you want me to put my purple glasses on briefly, there were some very, very just basketball IQ, basic fundamental issues with the Kings last year. The first was you had a lack of creators, right? That's the first thing. But the passing last year was so bad. It was so bad. You had so many guards playing out of position, being asked to play the point guard, including DeMar DeRozan. DeMar was bringing up the ball a decent amount. So when I look at like 2 years ago, I shouldn't say 2 years ago, not this offseason, but the previous offseason. One of the big things was control the controllables. The Kings' free throw attempts were down 20+%. Made free throws from the beam year to the 46 win year were down right around 21%, just a little bit over. And those are things that the Kings can control. That means you're not getting to the paint enough. And when they were getting to the free throw, they weren't shooting a great percentage. And so in the offseason, a lot of the guys, and I know DeMar DeRozan makes that stat better for you automatically, but free throws became for every guy in the offseason a big point of training. And what did the Kings do right out of the gate last year? They were second in the NBA in free throw attempts for the first, I would say, 20 to 25 games of the season, in first in the NBA in free throw percentage. And the Kings hovered around 500, yet their plus minus or their net rating, which we call it the stat that doesn't lie. It's the most important stat to look at. The net rating was still positive. So it's like, well, this team's like 500, but they're still a plus 3.4, still a plus 4. What's going on? And we're looking at the lines, and it's the free throw shooting. It's the little things like that. And so the Kings were able to control some more of those controllables. So just by default, if the Kings come in this year and just make some better decisions with the basketball, just even the 3-point percentage for guys. If the Kings pass just a little bit better, where more of those passes are right there in the shooting pocket rather than above their heads or at their shoestrings, that might make the 3-point percentage go up. So this team could be 3, 4, 5 games better if those things improve over the course of a season. Now, defending the 3 ball, that is still something that's kind of up in the air, because although Scott Perry wants it to be a defensive team, this can't be a defensive team. There's no way it can be a defensive team. You don't have the pieces. This is a team where you're going to roll the ball out as it's currently constructed, and you're going to hope to score more than everybody else. You're also hoping that Zach LaVine, 1, can stay healthy, but 2, can actually maybe play up to his contract. Because if he does, that accelerates the process for the Kings of to me, I don't know what you call it. It's not really a retool. It's not really a rebuild. I've explained it with this new CBA that each year you're going to see 2 separate groups of kids on the playground. There's going to be on one side of the playground the kids that are going all in to get a championship. We're not going to spare an expense. We're going into the second apron. We will pay the luxury tax. Doesn't matter, because we think we can get a championship now. And by the way, if there's a player that's going to make us better, like a player that's perfect for our system, we will overpay for that player. It's go time. Then you've got the other kids on the opposite side of the playground. They're dumping salary. They're dumping contracts. They know that they cannot be competitive this year. A couple of the most obvious examples: Boston, due to injury. Jason Tatum with the torn Achilles. Another example, Indiana. They've already come out and said, we are not going to play Tyrese Halliburton. Now, Indiana, there's a little asterisk next to them, because they are the most winning team over the last 12 years to not have gone into the luxury tax. But I think you can see the examples around the league. If you look, teams that are saying this is not going to be our year. And then, because not everybody gets to go to recess, not everybody, there's the problem kids that don't even get to go to recess. They're in detention. And detention is, you're not rebuilding, but you're decent enough to probably contend for the 9-10 spot in the play-in if you're lucky, which means, okay, you're in detention. You're in purgatory. That's where the Kings are at. The Kings are in detention. They're in the middle. So if Zach LaVine can play up to his contract, maybe he becomes more desirable to a team at the trade deadline. I'm still shocked at the De'Aaron Fox contract. I'm still having a really, really hard time wrapping my arms around that contract. Anybody have him? And I sat up here and I ate crow. I thought De'Aaron was going to have to take a decent haircut. Instead, he's getting paid more than Luka. Dennis says, yeah, that was a big tax issue last year. We need Russell for the backup. Dude, no, not right now. You don't. Not unless you're going to make another deal. Just wish Grant was calling the games. Well, Patrick, baby steps, my man. Patrick, baby steps. Daddy's home. It's all good.
Daddy's back.
Daddy's back. Baby steps. Let's all make Grant the #1 drive time show in Sacramento. And then we can revisit things. Sorry, I guess I'm kind of going commissioner ears on you about expansion. Not trying to gaslight you like he does. They banned NFL teams from providing smelling salts. Players must provide their own. Okay, well, if players can provide their own, then fine. What's the difference? It's a nuance. We have a ball handler now at a very expensive price. I think we are going to be hella fun this season. Damn, Patrick, man, dropping the hella. All right, that's a NorCaler. Rhino, if Levine doesn't bring up the ball, he's gonna be. Wait. He's going to Hebism improved, Paul? He's going to Hebism improved. What? How do you say that word?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Possibly, yeah. I think that's an argument. If you have a true point guard, it's an argument. You get Zach back into his natural position. I saw some video of Zach training a couple of days ago. He looked good, but the one thing that they were working on was making sure that Zach was, and he was working around predominantly 12 feet and in, and either shooting fadeaways or doing a little bit of a Euro step. But they were trying to make sure that he was catching some contact. He was creating some contact each play. And I mean, I'm not a basketball training coach, especially at that level. But the contact that was being created, it didn't seem like very much. And with the way the NBA is called, you're going to have to be more physical. And I'm not going to draw conclusions from a training video, but I do have that question, regardless of whether I saw that video or not, is can Zach be a little bit more physical? You know, I've been critical about his basketball IQ, his decision making. It was under par for what I expected of Zach LaVine. Conversely, he tried to get to the rim a lot last year in his 25 plus games, 30 plus games here in Sacramento. He didn't finish well around the rim, and I don't think he got very many calls either. But he was trying to get there, and I can respect that. But can he add a little bit more of a physicality to him? That's what I would also like to see. But the big question is he going to be able to stay healthy? You got to give him credit. He stayed healthy last year. He did. Hey, Justin, NFL wants to ban. Okay, we already went there. Peter, what's up? If KSAC wanted to expand to multi-broadcasting on Radio X, YouTube, etc., that would be an amendment to the signed contract. Yeah, we're not going to get into the weeds about the contracts. If you want the details of what Grant, this is Grant's venture. I am lucky enough to be a part of it. My role doesn't change. It's what it's been on this channel all along, to support him, to create unique ideas, to grow the viewership, to get more of the viewership over here onto YouTube rather than X. And a lot of those things we've done. But, you know, Grant, and I'm with him there. I'm not going to fight that point with him about simulcasting. I'm not. Grant's old school. That's why I've been so lucky to work for him the last 3 years. He's brought me up in an old school manner in a completely type of new media. Not Draymond's, by the way. Some ways I've been able to scratch his digital itch, and he has scratched my chops, like being able to get on a mic for 2 hours without a script to talk with all you about whatever it might be. Patrick, last season had so much turmoil. We have to won 40 games. That was amazing. This year, I think we will. Patrick, we've got to set our expectations. We really do. I'm not trying to pee on the campfire here. I'm really not. This is the strongest Western Conference that I can remember in my lifetime. Jerry Reynolds earlier, I think it was in July, said he can't remember the last time the West was this strong. If you look at the West, and let's be realistic, even if the Kings played through some turmoil and got to 40, let's be realistic about where they stand right now in the West. How many teams do you put below the Kings in the West? Even if the Kings manage the turmoil better, shoot the three ball better, passing improved, guys getting back to their normal positions, as many as you can. I can't put the Kings over the Blazers. I can't. I can't put the Kings over the Nuggets, the Spurs, the Rockets. As we sit today, I can't put them over the Pelicans. I can't put them over the Grizzlies, T-Wolves, Thunder. I can only put the Kings above, and I would say the bottom of the West is Utah. Then Phoenix, then the Kings. So we've got to have realistic expectations. We do. I hope they surprise you. I really hope that they do. Let's see. Agree the West is really good. Who are they going to be? Okay. Who are they going to be 7 or 8 over? Who's dropping off? Or are we going to say, and by the way, Joe Dumars bet the freaking farm on this season by going up and giving up an unprotected first round pick in a draft that's supposed to be pretty good this coming year. So Derek Queen, who is, I can't put him in the Şengün, Jokic, Sabonis conversation, but if you looked at his comps coming out of college, he's a big guy that can pass, he can shoot from beyond the arc. Big question for him was conditioning, which you've already had to worry about with Zion Williamson, no CJ McCollum now in New Orleans. And remember that New Orleans team, they never played a single game last year healthy together. Not a single game that roster walked into training camp with. Zion's got some legal stuff. Okay, so let's say it doesn't work out in New Orleans. All right, New Orleans is below you. Phoenix is kind of a wild card. I didn't expect them to shuffle the deck as much as they did and as quickly as they did. Devin Booker's on board with what they're doing. I still put Phoenix below for now. So now you've got Phoenix, the Pelicans, the Jazz for sure. Ace Bailey ain't going to be that guy this year. Let's say you also have the Blazers. Who else is it going to be that you're going to be above for 7 and 8? You're going to throw the Warriors in there? It's not going to be the Nuggets. Is it going to be Dallas? I doubt it. I know they're going to play probably half the season without Kyrie. If there's a team that, if I look at the West right now, like we're looking at the West, the one team that I have not said yet that I am not sold on and I know they've been to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row, it's Minnesota. I'm not sold on them yet. Talk about a team that's missing. I know they have Conley, but they need a younger version of a Mike Conley that can keep that ball moving and spread it out between the ISOs with Randall and Edward. And Minnesota got rid of Nikhil Alexander Walker. They are now betting on a young guy. I think it's Ron Holland out of Kentucky. So I'm not crazy impressed. I'm not crazy sold on them. But even out of this group, there's going to be a group that surprises you. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think 7 or 8 is realistic, at least with the roster that you have today. I don't see it. Dallas last came to Sacramento and blew the Kangs away. Yeah, those back to, well, I think back to, the play-in, but I think back to the 46 win season. The Kings were ahead of the Mavericks, the trade deadline. The Mavericks make a couple of moves. The most they gave up was a first-round pick. They end up in the NBA Finals, but the Kings had the Mavs back-to-back here at the G1C. And they lost both of them. That's where it kind of came off the rails to me. Paul says, I'm thinking the Kings win 35 games. I'm looking to see how they use Keegan. Yeah, 100%. I'm with you, Paul. I'm so with you. And I was happy to hear Scott Perry talk about really making Keegan a little bit more of a focus, getting him to the 3. This is the year you have to do it. You've never put Keegan as a second option on this team. You've never put him really as a third option on this team. Defensively, he is your best defender. If he wasn't on the Kings, he would probably be on an all-defensive team, or at least getting votes for one. Scott's not messing around when he says he wants it to be a defensive team. It changed, though, at least for this season. It changed when Jake LaRavia walked away. Radio is on TV, like athletes on social media. No bueno. Okay, so you get it. Yeah, what's up, Beach? Good call. Everybody that called yesterday was awesome. Peter, just to be clear, 3 to 6 p.m. I'm going to call you out, Peter. With B? Is that Australian? With B? Will be radio only, 104.7 or 890 AM. Correct. Now, if you can't find the show on those stations, download the Fox Sports Sacramento app. Download TuneIn. Download any of those other radio apps, and you can find it there. But preferably, download the Fox Sports Sacramento app. Because that is what you guys are being contracted. However, I did notice that KSAC has an X and YouTube accounts that are rather new. Yes, so to be clear, let me bring you back in. To be clear, if you don't like that, this channel right now, we will still be bringing you the same Kings post-game show every single night the Kings play, with the exception of a few games when the Kings are playing early on the East Coast and Grant is still on the air. We think we're also going to be able to do a decent amount of the halftime shows as well, especially when the Kings are at home or they're playing in the West. All of that lives right here. You'll be coming right here. You can call in here like we usually do. The chat will be live, and we will be doing the same game day coverage in that sense. The pregame show, Gonzo, the pregame show, how do you put it, has been laid off. It's been sunsetted. You know what I mean? The pregame show is no mas because I will be in the studio. We will just be wrapping up the 3 to 6 show. So, yes, Fox Sports Sacramento has a YouTube, has an X. This, our programming, especially the Kings game day programming, lives here. The Kings Court. It's something that certainly will not be every day, but I'm still going to, at the very minimum, you will be able to get new episodes of the Kings Court live, or at least not live, but on Spotify, Apple, wherever you find your podcasts. My goal, this is my goal, starting out, my goal is to get you one live Kings Court a week on this channel. That's my goal. Whether it's a morning before the radio show, whether it is a weekend, I'm going to get you at least one of them. But then as we start rolling, we get more into our routine, maybe I can start doing some more. We're also looking for those, and I know some of you don't turn off the channel when I say this. Do not, because you don't have to tune in if you don't want to. We are looking at adding a separate wrestling show. Yes, it's going to have its own spot. Is Adam still here? Right now, Adam is going nuts. Adam's like, what? Give it to me again.
Give it to me again! Give it to me again!
Because there's been a big demand from a sizable amount of the audience. We're looking to add a wrestling show also on here. So we are going to be working this channel. Just know, from 3 to 6 p.m., Fox Sports Sacramento, 104.7, 890 is where you will find the Grant Napear Show. We are doing traditional radio from 3 to 6 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No live stream during the radio show. Not on this channel. No. And there's not going to be, at least for now, there's not going to be one on Fox Sports' YouTube page either. Now, I am exploring. Here's what I'm doing. I am going to be exploring, because I know how much the worry for all of you is this. You want the chat, right? Am I right? You want to be able to chat amongst yourselves. And I understand that. I respect that. So I am looking at ways that we might be able to have a place where you can chat while that show's going on. Stop it, Adam.
Give it to me again! Give it to me again!
We are looking to add a wrestling show. Yes. And we're going to have other specials on here too. Look, it's 3 to 6 o'clock. There's a lot more real estate than 3 to 6 o'clock. So, but the most important thing, 3 to 6 o'clock, get over to Fox Sports Radio Sacramento, 104.7, 890 on your AM dial. Like I said before, download the app. It's in the Play Store. It is in the Apple Store as well. You can download their app. You can listen there. I'm sure you're going to be able to find it on your traditional applications that stream radio shows as well. So yes, there you go. NFL games streaming on Enflid. Is this the first time we have had a bot on this channel? This is the first time we've ever had a bot. All right. There you go. How about that? I know. I have not seen that in a minute. How about that? Are we getting somewhere? So let me do this. Let's get this person out of here. You are blocked. Peace. No more of that. What's up, Dorian? Do you think there will ever be a reorg of the conferences? Yeah, I think there will be once the NBA expands. I think that's probably when you get that reorg. That would be my guess. What's everybody else think? Do you think that would be the proper time for it? As we look, yes, we already hit that. I want to make sure I'm getting to everybody here. And thanks again over the last 24 hours for being with us. And we are so excited for the future. Again, there's nothing like being on traditional radio. So the Grant Napear Show returns to 890 here in Sacramento, 104.7 on your FM dial. First show, we're coming at you September 2nd. Spread the word. Spread the word. We are coming hot. We are coming heavy. And we are back. Grant is back to win, as he said in his SACB article, which is as much about you as it is us. So Grant is back in SAC-U. Also, preseason football tonight. Anybody going to be watching preseason football? Cody, I don't know if you're lingering out there, but your left tackle that you just paid got hurt, and it didn't seem to look good earlier today at Chargers camp. Hopefully he will be okay, but that was not looking good. He just got paid too. Bummer. That's what I hate about the preseason. Just hate that about the preseason. So yeah, you got your full lineup of football this weekend. Anything specifically that you're looking at football-wise? Just nobody getting hurt? So Tristan, I'm still trying to see, my first priority is to Fox. Oh, it is season ending now, Gail. That's terrible. You know why that's terrible? Because protecting Justin Herbert is paramount of any team in the NFL. It's everything to keep that quarterback clean, but Justin Herbert has been playing hurt for a minute. It seems like once we come towards the end of the season. Yeah, Rashawn Slater carted off. Charger fan. Not good. Anybody watch Hard Knocks with the Bills? I got to tell you, the best show right now going on Netflix is the one they dropped on Tuesday about the SEC. I love it. I can't get enough of it. Anybody shocked that Jerry Reynolds started talking WWE Unreal unsolicited? I'm like, Jerry, you got to check out this SEC show. He's like, no, you got to check out Unreal WWE. Crazy. Big Raider fan, looking forward to seeing what the season looks like. Hey, I talked about the Raiders 2 days ago. I think they're going to be over. I do. I think it'll be over 7.5. Call me crazy. I just think the energy that Pete Carroll brings into that building changes things. I think some of those players have not been around that kind of energy. Ashton Genty is a special talent. He's going to translate. Not only is he going to translate, he is a leader, natural born, class dude. writing letters to every team on why they should draft him. The key to the Raiders being good, to me, is not having to ask too much of Geno Smith. That is where Geno Smith thrives. Preseason game number 1 underway right now. The Colts in Baltimore, off to a start. First kickoff. First of 3 games tonight. Raiders Seahawks, as we've talked about. The 2 marks show. Yeah, I don't know about that. Look at that. Peter giving you the blessing of breaking news. Gail knows her sports. Love me some Gail. Gail is the best. By the way, don't forget, told you earlier today, Napes is going to be here 7 o'clock. Talking more about the big announcement last night, taking your questions, and also talking some preseason football, whatever it may be that you want to talk to about or talk with him about. He'll be here for it. 7 p.m. Hit Grant up. Shared his schedule. He's going to be back in SAC. Last week of August, we will be in studio together for the debut of the Grant Napear show on Fox Sports Radio Sacramento. Looking forward to that as well. I can tell you this for sure. If you want to find Grant and you want to find me that week, it is really easy. We are either going to be off Ethan Way at the studio. We're going to be off Howe in Fair Oaks at Bennett's. We're going to be in Roseville at Bennett's. Or we're going to be in Rockland at the West Side Grill in Bennett's. Prime American cooking. Great, fabulous prime cuts of steak, fresh, perfectly cooked seafood as well. Big thanks, by the way, to so many of you that have frequented Bennett's and shared your positive reviews. In fact, I didn't know this, but last night Grant said he was going to buy Bennett's for somebody. What's that about? Or is that person watching the show? There was something in there. Like if they didn't have something about an experience, but he had to use the honor system. Grant said he would buy him Bennett's. There you go. Make sure you cash in on that. Don't get bad karma, though. But no, seriously, 3 locations all here in the greater Sacramento area. One of the favorite things that I like about Bennett's personally is every day has a different special. It really does. Happy hour, 7 days a week, 2 to 6 o'clock. One of our family's favorite things is the brunch from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at all locations. You can get a bottle of champagne, 2 entrees for $45. And Brian Bennett, their owner, who has been so good to this show, this channel, to me personally, gets inspired, extra inspired once in a while by the best and freshest ingredients that he's seen. And he will roll out a special menu. He's done that. The Taste of Summer menu. Go to bennettsrestaurants.com. Check out the offerings there. You can get the 2 entrees for $30. Pay the extra $5 for the dessert. Why would you not do that? You got to do that. So think about that. 3-course meal, $35 on that summer or the Taste of Summer menu. But you can make reservations, bennettsrestaurants.com. You can also look at all the menus, check out the other great specials as well. I can tell you, when Grant's in town, he eats there like twice a day. It's like his cafeteria. And I don't blame him. If I had more time to drive to Howe and Fair Oaks, you don't think that I would be at Bennett's 3 or 4 times a week? You know I would be at Bennett's. So go check them out. Again, Rockland, Roseville, Howe and Fair Oaks, bennettsrestaurants.com. Let them know that you heard about them on the channel. And let us know when you go in so we can pass that along to Brian and Margot and the entire team, who you will definitely fall in love with. You get such an incredible meal, great portions, and it does not break the bank. It's not even close to breaking the bank. You're going to feel like you're stealing. So go check them out. bennettsrestaurants.com. All right. So what do you want to do? We can go a couple different ways here. You got Grant coming up at 7. Grant was going to buy Oscar. There we go. Bennett's, since he called. That's right. There you go. That Dorian. Well done, dude. Dorian all over it. That's exactly what it was. I guess here's my question. We can go a couple of different ways. Dorian, yeet, my man. Good job.
Yeet.
We can talk some NFL. We can talk about the latest problem that the WNBA is having, which somewhat is out of their control. If you don't know what I'm talking about, do a simple Google search. Or we could do an Immaculate bracket. We usually do those on Wednesdays. We didn't have a show yesterday. So we could do a bracket together. If you don't know what that is, or the Immaculate grid, excuse me, we can do one of these together as well. So which way do you want to go? Which way you want to go to wrap up? Nice little Thursday. Let me know. No, there is not a WWE Immaculate grid. Nor would I do a WWE Immaculate grid here. The autumn win is a Pirates. Yeah, I shared this earlier a couple of days ago. Shared it a few times. Somebody had bought a 2020, it was a brand new Tesla. It had one of the white license plates on it, the paper ones. And it's driving right there in front of me. And they smacked two, not one, two Raiders. Two Raiders shields on each side of the bumper. Raiders fans just different, man. They're just so different. John's already barbecuing. All right, if y'all, or we can end the show. We'll get off early if we don't have any votes, or I'll just sit here and do a grid and forget that the red light's on. Y'all's choice. Let me know. I will tell you this. I want to say this really quick. The objects that have been flying onto the courts, WNBA games, I think we can keep it to that. The objects. I can't start the weekend now. I work tomorrow. You start the weekend now. The objects that are flying onto the WNBA courts, it didn't start there. Picking up, Patrick, Sicilian pizza. Oh, man. Those Sicilian pizzas. New York. Is it like cracker crisp? How is this bot back? I blocked the bot. You're blocked. Get out of here. Oh, no. I just blocked Dennis. How do I unblock? Nope, he's not blocked. He's good. Grid. All right, we could do a grid. Raiders fans are loyal, no doubt. Buffalo Bills fans are to blame for this on numerous occasions.
Down on 4th and goal. Jones. Soft toss. Wide open. Touchdown. Kendrick Bourne.
Yes, Buffalo Bills fans. Dennis, you should be good. I don't think if I'll figure out how to fix it. I was trying to get the bot above Dennis. My bad, dude. We'll get that fixed, Dennis. That was an honest mistake. All right, we'll do a grid here in a second. Where's my credit? I called it first. Did you call it, Matthew? Did you? So that's where it started. Now it's become a thing, and you have people being arrested. You have these. I'll let Steve Elkington tell you what they are.
It's a rubber donga.
These things are flying onto the court in WNBA games.
It's a rubber donga.
No joke. Check it out. The players didn't know what to do.
Ace gets blocked by Maya Caldwell. Something flies on the court, actually, from the crowd. The officials will say they will continue play as that goes off the fingertips of the Valkyries. But that needs to be addressed.
Well, let's go back to the block, though. Hayes thinks she has the clean shot, and Maya Caldwell just comes over and saves the possession. Excellent defense from Caldwell, and that's her job. That normally Jordan Canada didn't know something flew on the court. She's being told right now. That
Hold on, I missed the best part. What's the announcer say? That is not okay.
and the object is still down on the floor on the opposite side of the court. It was something green that was launched.
Is a first.
That is a first.
And the object is still down on the floor on the opposite side of the court. It was
I don't
something
mean to
green
laugh.
that was launched.
It's not cool. It's actually ridiculous and completely disrespectful. And it happened again. I wish I could show you this video. I can't because it'd be copyright. But the referee kicks the object. What are they called again, Steve?
It's a rubber donga.
Kicks it towards the towel boy. I have never seen a towel boy jump up quicker to get his feet off the ground so that thing didn't hit him. But yeah, again, in another game.
Got a whistle away from the basketball.
So now, and I'm going to wrap this up really quick. We have had 4 incidents. 4.
It's a rubber donga.
Of those flying on the floor. The 4th incident occurred at a Fever Sparks game where 18-year-old Caden Lopez was arrested for throwing
It's a rubber donga.
onto the court, throwing one which hit a fan and his 9-year-old niece in the stands. That person is now facing 3 separate charges. One of them, they're all misdemeanors, but one of them is one of those that you don't really want to have on your record. So can we put a stop to this, please?
It's a rubber donga.
Crazy. Like, what are we doing? And you know what? If I'm the WNBA, I am blaming Buffalo fan. And if I'm the WNBA, I'm not trying to get on them, but don't zoom in on what it is on the court. Like, if anything tonight, anything tomorrow, anything the next day hits the court, don't zoom in on it. Don't do it. Don't. Come on. All right, so let's do a grid and we'll wrap up. I know that a lot of you want to do the grid. I am very skeptical about doing this grid with all of you because if you remember the last time we did a grid, yeah, if you hit a 9-year-old, in the face,
It's a rubber donga.
what do you think? I mean, BJ, real talk. I'm going to bring you back in for this one. BJ, this is what some people don't think about. I was at Gail. Shout out to Gail. She lives in Santa Barbara. So all of my really good friends from high school, And I promise you, bringing up high school, I'm not going to go where you think I'm going to go. I'm not going to do the whole.
Yeah, coach would have put me in fourth quarter. We'd have been state champions, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
No doubt in my mind.
But
you better believe things would have been different. I'd have gone pro.
Would have gone pro, Uncle Rico.
I'd be making millions of dollars and living in a big old mansion somewhere.
Uncle Rico. So most of my friends from Elk Grove that I grew up with, we went one of two ways. We all went south. I went further south. I went to San Diego. My other friends went to UCSB. And man, UCSB. I spent so many weekends at UCSB. We used to have basketball camps at UCSB where we'd stay in the Francisco Torres dorms. Isla Vista is just a gem of a college city. It's unreal. If you've ever been to Isla Vista, so cool. Think about Davis, but on a cliff with the ocean right there. Awesome stuff. But they all went to UCSB. And for whatever reason, UCSB's men's soccer team was really good. Yeah, Dennis, it was an accident, brother. Brother, it was an accident. If you were watching the show, you heard. We'll get it fixed. I think it was just timeout. I don't think I fully blocked you. I was trying to block the bot. My bad, man. You're good. I'll make it up to you, Dennis. I got you. So UCSB ended up being really good in men's soccer one year, and they got to the Final Four. And with soccer, you get to host a home game. Two of the teams get to host a home game. They don't do it like basketball, baseball, etc. And UCSB was hosting a Final Four game. Place was packed. We went to the game, and there was this little rumor going on. There's this, so with UCSB, there is a street in Isla Vista called Del Playa Street, DP. And it is, Gail pick me up here. It is maybe 1.5 miles long, maybe a little bit longer. And one side is, you got houses on both sides of the street, but on one side of the street with the houses, no backyard, just cliff and ocean and views. And there's a lot of sorority houses. Were you there? No way. Okay. So check this out. It was the street to be on. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever it was, there would just be thousands of people at night walking up and down the street for house parties. And there was this rumor, because my friends lived Oceanside DP, which, by the way, there was like 20 of them jammed into that home like sardines, and rent was $10,000 a month. But they lived Oceanside. Come on. So there was a rumor that somebody a couple of houses down was planning something for the game, because the game was going to be on like the Ocho, ESPN 7. And this dude, he went streaking at the game. You're like in the 47th minute of the game, and the next thing you know, the guy is being chased around, wearing nothing, doing stuff that he shouldn't be doing. And you know what ends up happening? The dude ended up getting over the fence before the cops could get to him, which was like, no way. He actually pulled it off. Like, the only thing missing from it was Kevin Harlan calling it. Do you know what happened to that dude when they caught him? let's just say there is a certain we got Kevin. Actually, Kevin's calling it right now. I forgot. Kevin Harlan did call it.
Somebody has run out on the field. Some goofball in a hat. He's bare-chested and banging his chest. Now he runs the opposite way. He runs to the 50. He runs to the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. The 20. They're chasing him. They're not going to get him. Waving his arms, bare-chested. Somebody stop that man.
Here comes the blue coat.
Oh,
Kevin.
they got him.
Here
They're
comes the
coming
blue
from the
coat.
left. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line.
They got him. That's right.
That was
Kevin's
the most
right.
exciting thing that happened tonight.
So he gets caught, and we go the next day to be like, bro, you did that? Like, what were you thinking? He wasn't there. The next day, he wasn't there. Let's just say that dude didn't take into account that there might be people at the game that were under the age of 18. And let's just say that dude, before he graduated college, had already made a certain list that doesn't come with distinctions. It's like the worst list ever. I don't need to go any further for doing something like that at a game. So the reason I share that story is if you are throwing things like that,
It's a rubber donga.
and it hits a 9-year-old, I'm telling you, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not. All right, let's get to the grid. This is how the grid works. We're going to wrap up here today. For those listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, I will do my best to narrate this so you can understand what's going on. You can make guesses in your heads or in your cars or with your families watching on replay or listening on replay. So the goal of the Immaculate Grid is to find or name a player. That's funny. The streaker's name was Adam or Matthew. You know how I would know it wasn't Matthew? Because it happened in like 2005, I want to say. All right. So the goal of the grid, as you see, we've got to come up with basketball players that meet the qualifications in each spot. We only have 9 guesses. There's 9 spots on the grid. The rarer the player, the more obscure the player. So if we look at the Kings and the Rockets, that's our first question. Who is a player that played for the Kings and the Rockets? If you put Ron Artest in there, it's probably going to be like a, I don't know, 12%. We want to get like the 1%. We want to get like the 0.4%. So let's start there. A King and a Rocket. And by the way, if you didn't see Jerry Reynolds knock one of these out on Tuesday, he would have been done in under 2 minutes if I could have spelled correctly. And yes, no cheating, as Paul says, no cheating, no AI, no intellectual enhancers, please. All right, let the names come in. Otis Thorpe says. Kenny Smith, Paul says. The Cat, I like that. My favorite right now is Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith is my favorite. Trevor Ariza would be another one. Francisco Garcia, that works as well. I still like Kenny Smith a little bit better. Because who's going to remember that Kenny Smith played in Houston or in Sacramento? Bonzi Wells, good job. Omri Caspi. Here, okay, by the way, there's a caveat because we ran into this with Jaden McDaniels. They have to have played an actual game for the team. You can't just be traded on the team, be in training camp, and then get released. I like Omri Caspi. I think Flores, I'm going with that. Omri Caspi, I think that's going to be fairly rare. Here we go. Omri Caspi, 9-year career. 1%. Well done. All right, we need a King and a Laker. Vlade Divac, way too obvious. A King and a Laker. What are we going to say? King and a Laker. Bro, I've blocked this thing how many times? Now you're blocked out of there. All right. Okay. King and a Laker. Where are we at? Peter, thank you for the honesty. LeBron James in 1 year. No. Malik Monk's okay. Was Christie a Laker? Was Doug Christie a Laker? Samuel Dallenberg. Tristan says. Richmond. Okay, it's either going to be Dallenberg. I just Matt Barnes, man. I'm not a fan of Matt Barnes. Okay, so Dallenberg or Matt Barnes? Which way are we going to go? Not Marcus Camby. Never played for the Kings, Adam. Don't be a party pooper, Adam. Adam, you're being a...
Every team really needs what I call a shitbird.
Dallenberg, Tristan, are you sure, though? This is why we only got 6 right last time. Let's go Matt Barnes. I'm going to go with Dorian. Even though I'm not a big fan of Matt Barnes. 4%. Good job, y'all. Okay, a King and an All-Star. King and an All-Star. Think obscure. Think obscure. This would be a good one. Well, Mitch Richmond, 6-time All-Star. Maybe not. That's not great. Oh, that would have been good. Yeah, for sure. Tristan Thompson. Is Tristan an All-Star? Okay, a King and an All-Star. I feel like I wish I had some Jeopardy music. Off to the races. King and an All-Star. Come on. I know. I was kind of thinking Fox, too. Brian Grant was not an All-Star. Yes, that counts. Yeah, it could be actually Tristan. You know what? You bring up a good point. It could be anybody that was in. What about Vince Carter? Vince Carter? You guys want to go Vince Carter? How many people remember Vince Carter was in Sacramento? Yeah, let's go Vince Carter. I'm going Vince Carter. How are you? That's within the rules. Wow. That ain't cool. That's on me. I guess it has to be an all-star while they were with the King. Okay. The question is, do you think Richmond? It has to be. We just learned it has to be when they were the Kings. So, I don't think he was. Was he? Was he an all-star with the Kings? I guess I need to read these rules better. I can't believe that I screwed that up. Yeah, let's go Mitch. You know what? Let's go Mitch. It's old enough. I do want to put De'Aaron in, though. Y'all think Fox? Do you think Fox is too recent? Or do you want to do Fox for the burn? You guys are trying to burn. You want to see if Fox is like a 1% choice for everybody else. Ryan still hasn't read the Tesla manual. You know what, Haunted Horse? Joke is on you. There isn't a Tesla manual. It's digital, my man. Joke is on you, Horsey.
Haunted 00 Horse. Jim, I also fathered an illegitimate child.
We're going to go Richmond. 6%. All right, let's keep Mitch. That's what we did. All right, where should we go? How about let's go. Yeah, no, you're good, dude. We actually, I think my glove box does have one. I do think there is one in there. So I was just giving you a hard time.
How big is your man?
Let's go with a Raptor and a Rocket. Raptor and a Rocket. Here we go. Off to the races. We have 30 seconds. A Raptor and a Rocket. Let the race begin. That's where it gets tough, right? A Raptor and a Rocket. I have one. Fred VanVleet. Pause the Tesla manual. Looks as if you're trying to put IKEA furniture together. Trevor Ariza, Tracy McGrady. Yao Ming never played for the Raptors. Are you sure Ariza played for the Raptors? I said Fred VanVleet. I'm going to go VanVleet. Let's, because we've already missed one. All right. Or, you know what? McGrady's good too. Do you guys say McGrady or VanVleet? Paul says Ariza. Okay. You know what? Let's do that one. There you go. We'll go Tracy. %. Oh, Linsanity. Good job, BJ. Just a little too late. All right. Let's go with a Laker and a Raptor. 30 seconds. He may have been. Yeah, he may have been. All right, 30 seconds. A Laker and a Raptor. If you're positive Ariza was in Toronto, then Ariza would work here. Okay? Rock right now in the lead. Rock in the lead right now. Anybody, can you beat Doug Christie? Can you beat Doug Christie? Yeah, let's go, Doug. I'm with you. All right. Good pull. Whoever did that, good pull. All right. Doug Christie, 4%. All right, good job. Let's go. A Raptor All-Star. They had to be an All-Star while they played with the Raptors. Had to be an All-Star while they played with the Raptors. 30 seconds. Starts now. Ariza has played for everybody. Okay, your obvious choices: Vince Carter, Kawhi Leonard, Tracy McGrady. Can we think of anybody outside of that? Did Scotty Barnes make an all-star team yet? Maybe Scotty Barnes? DeRozan. That's a great one. But it has to... Was he an all-star with the Raptors? Yes, he was. Absolutely, he was. DeRozan's the leading candidate right now. Who can be better than D. Stig? Who can be better than that? Good job. That was a great pull. DeRozan. Yeah, I like DeRozan too. Speaking of manuals, Haunted Horse, do you have a manual for this?
We got to the butt bingo, and then we kind of derailed.
How's that game played? Chris Bosh. Lowry. Oh, okay. I'm gonna make Antonio Davis. Are you sure Justin, are you sure he was an all-star though? I love Antonio Davis. He does a great job on Give and Go with Rob Perez right now. And he does TV for the Pelicans. Let's go DeRozan. Let's stick with DeRozan. $16. 16%. All right. Let's go backwards. Let's go with a Nugget who's been an all-star. We want obscure here. A Nugget that's been an all-star, 30 seconds. I think it was with Indiana. Damon Stoudemire, Carmelo Anthony, Jokic, you know who's not been an all-star? I don't think Jamal Murray's ever made an all-star team. I take that back. Has to be when they were with the team. Carmelo, Jokic. Andre Miller? Was Andre Miller an all-star? I don't remember. Was he really? Maybe. He's the Mellow Days. But he wasn't. Oh, was he though, Tristan? Tristan, was he an all-star while he was with them? A Nugget all-star is what we're looking for. Has to have been while they were playing on the team. I don't know if Iverson was an all-star when he was with them. All right, Tristan. Tristan, I'm gonna leave this to you. I bet he was. Let's see. Tristan might have the best one of the day. Or we might lose another square. Survey says, nice try, Adam. No chance. Come on, Adam. Good job, Tristan. Tristan, well done. Kiki Vanderway. Cheated. You can't use. All right. How about we will close with a Nugget and a Laker. A Nugget and a Laker. 30 seconds begins now. Russell Westbrook. Adam, I don't know that I can trust anything that you are putting into the computer right now, my man. I mean, you tried to hit me with Andre Miller. Thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate you, brother. Can't wait to have you on the lines with us as well. Thank you. Fox Sports, Sacramento, 104.7 on the FM dial, 890 on the AM. How about Russell Westbrook? DMC. Okay, Cristobal only chimes in when it's DeMarcus. It's Cristobal's brand. I love it. All right, let's put DeMarcus in. I bet it's going to be rare. It might be our rarest. There we go. Because... oh, he never played a game. We did it again. Well, we missed 2 this time. All right. I hear you, bro. DMC. You know what? When Cristobal chimes in with DMC, I'm going to go with it every time. But you know what? He's right. DeMarcus didn't play a game with the Lakers, though. We're looking for nothing now. We got 261. We'll do better again next week. Man, oh man. Joe, what you gonna do when Napear Mania runs wild on you? Good job, Joe. Well, let me tell you something, brother. Really bizarre twist that's taken, right? Wouldn't you agree? Very bizarre twist with Hulk Hogan. Not that we're going to get into it right now, but Jerry owned us. And had I been able to type more than 17 words per minute and spell, although some of the names were kind of tricky, but yeah. Anyways, appreciate all the kind comments about what we got going on. Again, yesterday was a big day here on the channel. Can't wait for Grant to be back on the airwaves here in Sacramento. If you're just joining us, I truly believe it comes at a perfect time. I don't know that it could have came at a better time when this fan base needed a voice in the afternoon that they've known for a long time, that they trust. And we are excited. We are excited to take Fox Sports Sacramento to the top here in Sacramento. So speaking of Grant, 7 o'clock tonight, join him. You can bounce off him what we got going on. If you got any more questions about last night, our first day on the air, September 2nd, we're coming in hot right after Labor Day. But Grant, 7 o'clock tonight. If you've not had a chance, make sure you do a few things for us. Make sure you check out a great story, number one, in the Sacramento Bee about Grant's return to the market. Credible story by Marcos Brentone. I love the line that he starts with there. It's just so good. Napear said, "I'm coming back to win." I love it. Do us a few favors. Make sure you download the Fox Sports Sacramento app. Follow Fox Sports Sacramento on X, if you would not mind. We are greatly looking forward to what's next. And yes, we will, as we get closer and closer and closer to that date, and I want to be transparent because I'm going to be wearing a couple of hats. I'm going to be working very, very hard with Fox Sports and Grant to launch this thing and launch it right. So excited to have the honor to be a part of that team. But that does mean there's going to be days between now and September 2nd where the King's Court probably will not be on because I will have other commitments. Now, what I said at the beginning of the show is the King's Court is not going to go away. It's just not going to be every day like we have done for the last over a year. So we'll try to at least get one live show in a week. You will have audio on the download side on Spotify, Apple. We will have it there. What I'm thinking about doing, and if you want to submit some ideas for me, submit them as well. But what I'm thinking about doing is in groups, bringing some of you on to the King's Court podcast that we will actually upload to Spotify and Apple and just having some chats about this show. What I'm also thinking about doing is putting something together for all of us to get together. Something you've all asked for. It's something that I would love to do to repay all of you for making this such a fun and just different community. Like this really is. It's different than any other basketball community built around Sacramento sports and the Kings. I really feel that way. So I can't thank you all enough for that. So I've got some ideas going. We're going to keep this thing going, but so excited for what's next in the future. Going with Grant and launching the Grant Napear Show again, bringing it back where it's always belonged, right there on the airwaves here in Sacramento on Fox Sports Sacramento 104.7, 890 FM. So Grant, 7 o'clock tonight. Have a great night. We'll be back tomorrow to wrap up the week. That means at the end of the show, we have our wrestling segment as well. So join us tomorrow to wrap up the week. Enjoy football tonight as well. You have the Raiders and the Seahawks, 7 o'clock. Hopefully, look, you know what the goal of every preseason game is? Don't get hurt. I don't want to see a ton of injuries. And by the way, don't gamble on it either. You don't even know the players that you're gambling on. I know I'm talking to somebody. I don't know who. I know I'm talking to somebody, though. But again, thank you all for the last 24 hours. The love that you have shot Grant, the love you've shot me. the love that you've shot Fox Sports, Sacramento. We cannot repay it. And most of all, the post-game show, all of our Kings game day coverage, halftime's going to be scaled back a little bit. Post-games, still right here on If You Don't Like That. So we are going to build those out bigger and better, just like we have done each and every season. Those do not go away. We are going to bring you the best Kings coverage, both on the Sacramento airwaves and right here on YouTube and X. Go Kings, light the beam. Grant, 7 o'clock tonight. Join him. Court is dismissed.
Order in the court.
I'm all gas, no brakes down. You know what I mean?